Now, we typically do not do reviews on movies that don't come into the theaters. But several subscribers have asked for it, and we're playing around with the content a little bit. And what we're going to talk about on this one is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the movie that was so bad that they threw it into Netflix to avoid pissing people off that went to the theater. But maybe that was a mistake. Welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional. This is Dave from Nerdbox, and I'm accompanied by my wife Jenn, also from Nerdbox. And on this episode, we are talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. So fire up that Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
A group of social media influencers buy the small town of Harlow in Texas.
Already I want to kill them.
Like they just bought a town. Which has transformed into a ghost town over the years where the legend of Leatherface still exists on the walls of some gas stations. Before investors arrive, Dante, his fiancée, and Melody stumble upon an orphanage where a woman's still living, caring for an elderly man. Dante forces her to leave, which causes her to have a heart attack, and inevitably unleashes the wrath of Leatherface on the town of Harlow.
Well, influencers buying a town sounds like we're sending a bunch of lambs out to be slaughtered. And when it comes to many slasher movies from the 80s into the 90s, that's what it was all about. Think about Saw. What did you go to see after a while? The kill scenes, like Final Destination. And that's what this movie was about, I think. Let's just send some people out that you're going to hate so that you can root for the bad guy to cut them out.
Sure.
What did you think about this one?
I thought this movie was trash. I thought the acting was subpar, if that. Seriously. Jacob Lattimore, he's been in other things. Apparently so is that Mo Dunford, because he's from Vikings. Sarah Yarkin, I saw her in Happy Death Day too. You can't miss her. She's got this curly black hair. You know who she is, a little tiny thing. You know exactly who she is. Acting was freaking terrible. The acting was so bad. So bad. I wanted them to die in real life.
Well, that's kind of harsh.
It was bad. It was just bad.
It was not bad. This is everything that you expect in a slasher movie that we've grown up watching.
No.
If you go back and watch Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and a lot of those movies, the acting wasn't always that great.
Because those were 80s movies. I expect the acting to get better. It's 2022.
It don't need to be getting any better because we're just watching people die off.
It was just so stupid. Honestly, I feel like the movie was 5 minutes long.
The movie did have a very quick pace because
it was
40 minutes in and there was 2 people that were dead, but it didn't feel like it was 40 minutes. It did felt like it was 20 minutes. Maybe because I was into the movie and you weren't.
But I just said the exact same thing you did. Then it felt like the whole movie took 5 minutes.
I said the first 40
minutes.
And
I wasn't into it. Just the whole movie was just a damn blur. Wasn't worth it. Tie it up in a garbage bag and throw it out to the curb.
This is a very decent slasher film. I can't say it's very good because I'm interested in seeing it again to see how well it is a second viewing. Yeah. I don't need to watch a horror movie.
And I thought, and you know what the thing was too? They completely disgraced Sally Hardesty's character.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did. She's like, do you remember me? She shoots him twice, and then she gets.
Spoiler.
Okay, fine. All she kept screaming was, "Do you remember me?" And then she gets off 2 shots, and it was stupid. It was just so stupid.
Come on. Look. Halloween did it wrong. Halloween didn't
do it right, and neither did this movie.
No. Halloween 2018 was good. Halloween Kills went off the rails with the weird political chants and nonsense. But
That was non-political because it was before?
it came off political. Anyway, as I was saying, here's why. Because Laurie Strode in the first two films running around screaming,
Help me, please! Somebody help! Oh God, help me! Please!
right? Everybody deems her as the ultimate final girl for those movies. She was a wuss.
She's not a final girl. I never thought she was.
But she is classified as the final girl.
I understand that. They also call her the Scream Queen. Why? Because all she does is scream.
She'd done more than just that, those two horror movies. But anyway, right? So Sally was no different in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? So these women all of a sudden coming all tough, badass over 40-year time spans, which this one's supposed to be a 50-year one, which they got the timeline all screwed up. It's unbelievable. So whatever happened to Sally in this film makes sense.
This town has like 10 people living in it.
3.
How is it that Leatherface has been hiding there for 50 fucking years and no one can find him?
It has been 50 years. So there are plot holes.
I don't care how long it's been. No one can find him. He's literally living in the orphanage.
They explained that in the beginning of the movie. He was wearing a mask. How do you find somebody that's wearing a mask?
He's wearing a human mask.
Okay.
Who does that?
But
Oh
it's
my
not
God,
like he's
okay.
walking around in the neighborhoods like, yo, what's up, peeps? I'm
It
wearing
doesn't-
this other person's mask.
It doesn't matter. But with a population of 3, it's the same damn rednecks that have been living in this town now for years. Why is it that no one comes across him? And how does this town even survive? There's nothing open. There's literally like you can see the bushels like rolling across the road. Like there's nothing there. The whole scenario was just stupid.
As I said, there's plot holes with the timeline.
Plot holes, yeah.
There's a lot of similarities to what we've seen in Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills a little bit. So there's a lot of borrowing in this movie. I would have been fine without having Sally come back and just watch Leatherface just tear apart people. I think her character was very useless in this movie.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't do her any justice because this was supposed to be all about like her revenge, and it really wasn't. I mean, her part was not a part.
It wasn't about her revenge. It was about Leatherface's revenge because the woman had a heart attack who was taking care of him. And he's like, oh no, you bitches are going to get it.
Well, and here's the other problem. That woman looked like she was younger than Leatherface. How the hell was she taking care of him? She looked like she was like 65. This woman should have been damn near 100. I mean, honestly, they didn't think it through when they wrote this script at all.
No, I think it was very rushed, but it's enjoyable rushed.
And here's the thing. Obviously, you're going into these movies for the kills. I totally get it. You just want a bloodbath. And they gave you that. But it wasn't a good bloodbath because most of it took place in one spot in the whole movie. And you couldn't make heads or tails of it because it was dark and there were blue party lights and it was very hard to see what was going on.
The party bus was cool.
The party bus was cool and blood splattering everywhere was cool, but it was really hard to see what was going on. I mean, I honestly probably would have to watch it again to even make heads or tails of it. Because I don't know what the hell was going on that bus.
We're going to watch it again.
Not tonight,
No.
because I need to watch it alcohol-free, honestly, because that's probably part of the problem.
Possibly. My only gripe with this film is where the chainsaw was hidden. That's it, because that takes from another Halloween movie.
Well, and people have mentioned that. And also, who was keeping the blade sharp on the chainsaw for 50 years when it was hidden away?
Those blades were super sharp.
They were super sharp. I mean, they were going through people like a butter knife goes through warm butter. Like, it was crazy.
If you like the House of Wax remake that came out in the early 2000s.
The one with Paris Hilton.
Yeah. I actually kind of like it.
I liked that, honestly, which is so weird, and I don't like Paris Hilton.
So she'll end up liking this film on another watch in the future. The ending? Amazing! I thought that ending was it was so awesome. Almost.
I saw it coming, though.
Almost. You could not see that exact scene the
Oh,
way
no,
it
no,
happened
no.
and played out.
No, I knew that was coming because it was A.
Enough of the spoilers. Anyway, the ending, fantastic. I have to say, out of all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, where probably 60 or 70% of them are absolute garbage, the ending of this one is probably the second best compared to the original. Though I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2's ending as well, but this is probably number 2. And then there's an after credits scene, so if you did not watch through the credits, there's a scene after the credits as well that you need to watch.
Maybe my whole problem is that I don't like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And like any of them. It's just not, it's not my movie. I don't like that franchise at all, and I think they should have just left it the hell alone.
I'll tell you this, that watching the trailer, I didn't care for the mask in the trailer, but watching the movie, it's like, I like it. Another plot hole tied to that, because he went like this, and the mask just stuck to his face.
Just like automatically, like it formed to his face. It was like perfect. It was meant for him, which is super weird.
But it's a horror slasher movie, so you have to suspend the disbelief sometimes. And you just have to sit there and enjoy. And what did you rate this one?
No. Just no.
I would like to say I would see this again in the theaters, but it's not in the theaters. And I was going to say that
I might like it better in the theaters.
It should have been
on the big screen. I wouldn't have been as like critical of it if I hadn't had to watch it on like my 55-inch TV and I saw it on the big screen. I might have felt better about it.
See, opinions changing already, like Malignant will too.
No.
I would say that I would buy this one.
Good for you. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'm not going to do the notification thing anymore. Nobody wants to turn those on.
What did you think of this film? Let us know by leaving it in the comments.
Well, we already know what some of them thought. It's been all over Facebook.
Yeah, majority wins. And that was, they loved it.
No, it's really split. It's really split. There's a lot of people that just thought it was trash.
I see more hate for Scream than I did for this movie.
I didn't.
Well, that's part of the same cliques as I am.
I'm not in those groups because those people suck.
Well, until the next. See ya.
See ya.